Hello? Okay, are you able to follow me? Okay, great. So the last aspect is once we have all of these different structures of a hadith apparent and clear, and we can do these kinds of computations, then we can also start to utilize a variety of machine learning procedures that are able to maybe help us in replicating, for example, what Hakim did with Al-Mustadrak, right? Hakim said, okay, if I apply Bukhari's criteria to hadith that aren't in Bukhari, then I find these hadith, and he put them in his Al-Mustadrak, right? So we could replicate that kind of possibility too, but before we are able to do that, just like how you receive an email and the computer learns after a while, like whether it's spam or whether it's real email, um, and this is called a classifier. We could potentially also build a certain classifier that was able to maybe kind of challenge and contest this idea of, hey, this is a sahih hadith, or this is a this is hasan, or even mawdu, for that part, because it could see after a huge amount of data, hey, with these ravis in particular, I find a bigger probability of a hadith being mawdu, and with these ravis, I find I've come to discover that, and then we could take that data and then compare it to our own data, or say what Al-Albani says about certain hadith or whatever, right? And kind of compare it and find out whether we gain new insights in this kind of thing, yes or no. So I think this is a good introduction as far as AI and hadith is concerned, and the possibilities. I will leave it at this. Are there any kinds of questions? No questions?
Sir, when we mention hadith and we must mention there about the Al-Minasatul Al-Hadithiyah, a website of hadith.
Sorry?
When we mention about hadith and we can see their website Al-Minasatul Hadithiyah.
Yes. Um, so hopefully this has given you some introduction, some understanding.
Face works. That how can we set instructions to the programming, and how can the results make in a if we set these classifiers in a hadith filtering system.
So a classifier basically works in has two elements to it, right? One element of it is where humans have in advance they have done it beforehand. Okay, so you read through 300 emails and you just say this is spam, this is not spam. spam, not spam, spam, not spam, spam, not spam, spam, not spam. And you do this for 300. Advance. If the content says something like, hey, do you want to receive $1 million for free, but you have to send me 10,000, spam email, right? Channel is always like, hey, your uncle from Zambia or whatever wants to send you $1 million. That's spam. But then that's old school computer thinking, where you program a rule where you say, if the text has, I want to send you $1 million, it's spam. That's old way of programming. We don't do that with machine learning. With machine learning, what we do is we just say, this is spam. That's all we say. And this is not spam. And then the computer infers through all these algorithmic calculations that I cannot expound here, obviously, which you learn in computer science, which you can Google and so forth. It learns after a certain point that there are various signals in a text that make it, probabilistically speaking, likely that it's spam. And that is because if you said to 300 different instances, you said spam, 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 it goes and it says, wait a minute, all these who are supposed to be spam, I notice all of them have the word rich uncle in it, or king of Zambia, or prince of whatever. And that's suspicious. And that gets flagged, right? So with a hadith, we kind of can do the same thing, right? We could have, say, a collection of mawdu'at, and we could have a collection of sahih and whatnot. And but then we could have certain texts that we have not graded yet, right? Certain texts that might be in historical words where there is a isnad and there is a matan, but we haven't graded. We haven't said this is sahih or whatever. What we could do is, like, after teaching the computer, hey, these hadiths are mawdu, these are sahih, and then we could present, just like we could develop a classifier from it, and then present the hadiths that it never has seen before, like how it has never seen certain emails before, but then it could attach probability scores to it and say, oh, it seems that these people that are in the isnad and the wordings of the hadith, they are very much alike, like how a sahih hadith looks like, and they don't look like anything like the mawdu hadith. Or alternately, what it could do is exactly the opposite. It could be like, hey, the wordings here and the isnad, they really look a lot like how a mawdu hadith looks. Hopefully this answers your question.
Can you please list down some websites for takhrij, for extracting hadith and finding its authentication? Can you list some websites or applications useful for that?
I think I'll just write, the best is islamweb.net, I think, and there is the Jawami al-Kalim software. I'm gonna Yeah, and then you have let me look it up. Yeah, and there is this one. I'll send you guys this. Okay, so those are the links that could potentially help you. You have to basically install this software. Site that you guys could look at. It's in the work, usul.ai. It's still being worked on. I don't think it's complete yet, but this is something that's in the works right now. Okay, maybe we should stop this session. It was nice meeting you all, and take care and have a nice day.
Sir, one more question.
Yes.
Sir, as we all are degree students in Sheikh Farid Awliya Dawa College affiliated to Darul Islamic University, we have to do thesis works for our graduation. So can you please suggest some tools, some AI tools, which can be helpful in doing researches and thesis works, uh, and it will be helpful in referring sources and such services.
It's still it's too new. There isn't something ready made, and maybe that's the whole problem, right? That's still in front of us. That's why I started with saying, look, we just have text available digitally for reading, but not for analyzing, not for researching, not for computing, none of that. That has to be done through scratch by learning programming, by applying different methodologies at the moment. And then maybe that could turn into a program at some point if it is proven to work good and correctly. But at the moment, it's still something that hasn't been realized yet. So we have an empty field. There is nothing hadir. There is nothing there for us to immediately utilize.
So I think you are saying that it's upon us to undertake such projects.
Yes, that's a good conclusion. And that's why I said having traditional ilmiya understanding of this is very important, because if you have extra programming knowledge too, then you are really good. But if you don't have programming knowledge, someone else has, then you have to collaborate to be able to do all these kinds of things. but it's an open field still in the works, and we don't know where it's going to end, what's going to happen going forward. We don't, like, one of the open questions I have is, we need specialized tools? To a degree, right now, yes, but in the future,
Yeah.
will the normal chatbots, will they be able to do it by default, right? So for example, ChatGPT, if I give now I can't, not yet, easily. I cannot just say, here is 8,000 Islamic texts, find this for me, or calculate this for me, or look at these. Right now, that is not possible. ChatGPT, you can present it a hadith, maybe 2, 3, or whatever. But we don't know, like maybe in 5 years, it can work with your database of 8,000 texts like this without any problems. But in the meantime, since that's not available yet, we have to undertake it by developing our own specialized tools. But it could be that those specialized tools become redundant in the future. I don't know this yet. I really don't know, because the problem is, when I develop something, I don't have millions and billions of dollars like these big tech companies have. So it's still like, even like developing AI for translation. Yeah, we develop some stuff, but then suddenly Google comes out with a new model and it does it better than what we developed, and it makes it kind of obsolete. So this is a kind of tension that's going on right now, and I don't know exactly where it's going to end.
Okay, inshallah, as we are scholars in Department of Hadith and related sciences, we will discuss about undertaking such projects in collaboration with other organizations, inshallah. So one more question we have is about higher studies possibilities in Amsterdam. As we are scholars, we are so eager to know the possibilities and higher studies available in Amsterdam, and scholarships, such services. Can you please explain it?
Yeah, so Western scholarship of Islam is not the same as conventional scholarship, not at all. It is a complete different game. Like, for example, what you guys think is cricket, and what they're doing here is soccer or basketball. It's a completely different field, different rules, different appreciation of the work, etc. Like, one of the things that I had to do when I was studying here in the Netherlands was, I wasn't allowed to write Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So whenever I wrote the Prophet name in a maqala, in a writing, the teacher would tell me, no, you cannot write Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam there, right? You have to remove it. So it's different rules, different expectations, and it's in the one hand good to be able to also know. I would like pursue a study in the West if you want to write for the West, right? If you want to write for the West, I would pursue it. But in other instances, I don't know, right? So sometimes people, they only publish in Urdu, for example, and it never reaches the West. But if they immediately publish in, even if they translate it from Urdu to English and they try to publish it, it still doesn't work, because different expectations, different rules, it's a different game. And to be able to learn that game, because you have the ambition to publish and study according to Western rules, then yes. But I do want that, because here in the Netherlands, people don't always understand Islam really properly. So I want to be able to explain to them how our religion functions, but I need to explain it to them according to their language, not according to my language, because my language is much more religious and theirs is not. So I have to reformulate it and reframe it in different ways. So there is no classical or conventional opportunity here in Amsterdam. There is only an opportunity for you to learn the trade, learn the tricks of being a Western researcher, so that you can write for a Western audience. And if that's not your ambition, then I don't know how good it is to pursue it.
Okay, thank you, sir. That was a nice explanation. How does a Western educational system and a Western educational research work? But anyway, the session was fabulous. That we had we could know more about many AI-based tools in finding hadiths, analyzing hadiths, isnad and matans, and we could find in this session uh, tools for verifying the authenticity of hadiths. Uh, anyway, the session was completely fabulous. I'm here. I share my soulful gratitude to our guest Yusuf Çelik, sir, for presenting on this session. Thank you, sir. Keep in touch.
You're
Assalamu
welcome.
alaikum wa rahmatullah.
And alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And honor was mine. May Allah have mercy on us all and take care. Bye.